Coming up on the Hilton Head News, some personal New Year's resolutions that could end up saving the lives of you and your family. And we'll have some resolutions that could make your small business more successful than ever in 2013. Stand by, the Hilton Head News is next. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. A fisherman from Hilton Head Island died Wednesday after his boat capsized on the Broad River. Authorities say 44-year-old Martin Stewart tried to swim ashore near Corn Island on Wednesday. An autopsy at the Medical University of South Carolina determined probable cause of death to be drowning and hypothermia. Sea Eagle Market of Beaufort called authorities after the two men who were gathering oysters for the business failed to return. Search and rescue personnel found 44-year-old Vincent Chaplin of St. Helena Island clinging to the top of the capsized boat. Chaplin told rescuers that Stewart had tried to swim to shore but didn't make it. Gale force winds and high waves slowed the search. A U.S. Coast Guard helicopter that was called in to help located Stewart's body. The Arts Center of Coastal Carolina has hired a new marketing vice president. Andrea Gannon replaces David Martin, who's returning to Delaware. Gannon has held previous marketing positions with Sea Pines Resort, Marriott Vacations International, and Anderson Communications. The Arts Center, which has been operating in the red, requested and was given a $346,000 advance on bed tax money by the town back in November. Now here's what's happening around the region. Two lobbyists, one who is a 9-year veteran of the State Department of Transportation, will push for an increase in South Carolina's 16-cent a gallon gas tax. The state's gas tax currently is the third lowest in the country. The lobbyists have been hired by a group known as the South Carolina Alliance to Fix Our Roads. It says the tax hike is needed to pay for close to $50 billion work in road construction and repairs that will be needed over the next 20 years. The group faces considerable opposition, and that includes Governor Nikki Haley. The governor came out against increasing the gas tax as part of her executive budget proposal earlier this month. The number of deaths and hospitalizations from flu in South Carolina already exceeds all of last year's numbers, even though we're only partway through the flu season. 10 deaths from the flu have been reported across the state. According to the State Department of Health and Environmental Control, 519 people with laboratory-confirmed influenza were admitted to hospitals from September 30th through December 15th of 2012. Last year's flu season from October 2nd of 2011 to July 7th of 2012 began late and resulted in one death. 114 people were hospitalized with lab-confirmed flu from October 2nd of 2011 to July 7th, 2012. So far, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, widespread flu has been reported in 29 states, and that includes South Carolina. The number of people killed on South Carolina highways is about even with last year. This year's numbers had been lower until, according to the State Highway Patrol, the number of fatalities spiked beginning in November. So far this year, 823 people have been killed in wrecks statewide, and troopers say they figure it's about twice the national average. Trooper Kelly Hughes says drinking, speeding, and not wearing a seatbelt are to blame for many of those deaths. Troopers plan on cracking down on drinking and driving over the upcoming New Year's weekend. For 2 days in January, South Carolina residents can go hunting without a license. The State Department of Natural Resources says South Carolina residents can hunt on public land or private land with permission and don't have to fill out any paperwork for January 4th and January 5th. DNR officials say the yearly free hunting period will be offered to introduce new people to hunting and the outdoors. Authorities say that on those dates, all existing season requirements and limits on the number of animals that can be killed will still be in effect. A loggerhead sea turtle that was released back into the ocean Thursday represents a milestone for the South Carolina Aquarium. The Post and Courier of Charleston reports that Gumby is the 100th sea turtle to be successfully rehabilitated and released by the aquarium. The Sea Turtle Rescue Program began back in 2000. Gumby was found stranded on Kiowa Island June 2011, weighing just 6 pounds. The juvenile turtle now weighs 40 pounds and was released into the Gulf Stream off the North Carolina coast. Well, there's more nature news from the Post and Courier. Endangered right whales appear to be giving birth off South Carolina's shoreline. The newspaper reports that 2 mother and calf pairs have been spotted in waters off the state's coast. Officials say the sightings support researchers' idea that whales are giving birth near South Carolina, north of the waters off the Florida coast, where they have long been thought to calve. Experts estimate as few as 400 North Atlantic right whales still exist. The whales can grow up to 55 feet long and weigh up to 70 tons. When we come back, some ideas on how to make your small business successful in the new year, and some life-saving New Year's resolutions from Hilton Head Island's Director of Emergency Management, Tom Dunn.
Welcome to our Christmas Wonderland at Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
Fabulous ideas for decorating and gifts await you. What's new this year? Silver, gold, and champagne colors for Christmas. Big paper snowflakes with lights, large Christmas ornaments to hang from chandeliers, whimsy Lori C. Mitchell figurines, mercury glass, Aunt Sadie's tree in a can aroma candles, nativity scenes, tabletop trees, and more. Make your first holiday stop Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
We're back with more on the Hilton Head News. Recently, we talked with Charlie Clark, Vice President of Communications with the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, about the top New Year's planning resolutions that small businesses can make. Here's what she had to say. What would be some of the top 3 New Year's planning resolutions that small businesses should consider making?
You know, it's interesting. This is always the time of year, Allie. We're always making resolutions, and usually they fall into the personal category. When in reality, businesses should be doing the same thing. What's good for businesses nationwide is also good for low country businesses. A recent study done by Inc. magazine really showed some of the top things you can do, and the top 3 things they were noting is not necessarily as a business in the coming year to do more. We always want to do more, obviously, as a business, but to do less better. That's one thing that Inc. recommended for businesses to handle and to tackle in 2013, along with just the fact that don't just customer service-wise meet the needs of your customers, but really delight your customers. And that's something that really hits home for the low country. We're such a service industry, tourism-based economy. Delighting your customers versus just serving them can make a difference.
Well, what about for that small business out there that wants to take advantage of business opportunities and also events that'll help raise their profile in the community and have that really last throughout the year?
You know, many of us plan for family vacations longer than we plan for our business for the coming year. So sit down, make the plan. There's no shortage of opportunities business-wise in the low country where you can get connected. Research has shown that networking is one of the #1 ways to do that. There are plenty of activities, whether it's Business Expo, whether it's after-hours events, whether it's connecting through roundtables and different seminars and learning sessions. Get out there. That's one of the most important things you can do, because your customers, in many cases, aren't just knocking on your door. You've got to go find them.
Some good advice. And what about the resources that are out there to help really do that planning for 2013 for small or low country businesses?
You know, something else that Inc. magazine noted in its study is the value of technology. Not utilizing technology in 2013 and beyond to build your business is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And with the available resources that are right here in the low country, whether it's thinkhiltonheadisland.org, whether it's great e-marketing resources, no shortage of companies really ready and willing to tell you how to take your social marketing and media to the next level. Utilize those resources for technology in the coming year, and you can really see your low country business grow.
Well, Charlie Clark, Vice President of Communications for the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, thank you for joining us on the Hilton Head News, and Happy New Year.
Thanks, Allie.
Now, with a look back at some of the stories that made news in 2012, Lynne Hummell of the Hilton Head Sun joins me. Hi, Lynne.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
Well, you know, now that the new year is approaching and the old one is drawing to a close, can you let us know some of what you think are the most interesting top news stories of the year?
Sure can. You know, this past year seemed to be the year of makeovers on the island. As if Hilton Head weren't already one of the most beautiful places on the planet, several large properties are spending millions of dollars for renovations to improve their appearance and their services. Started with the Westin Hilton Head Resort and Spa. They started their $30 million makeover by resurfacing their main pool and deck. And the Cinda, formerly the Crown Plaza, has launched its own $30 million project to redesign all the guest rooms to cater to both the family and the business traveler. The Omni, it started an $18 million project that will refresh the front entrance, the lobby, the meeting facilities. The Holiday Inn, now known as the Beach House, renovated guest rooms, a fitness center, and meeting spaces at a cost of $5 million. And then there were some large grocery stores. Harris Teeter in Park Plaza added 15,000 square feet. Publix, Bilo, Piggly Wiggly, and Walmart all completely renovated their interiors. And of course, the mother of all makeovers is the mall at Shelter Cove, which was purchased in the late 2011 by the Kroger Corporation and has now begun steps for a total transformation of that area.
Lynn, I know you wanted to talk about some people here on Hilton Head Island who received a thank you and special recognition for all that they've done for the island. Can you talk about that?
Right. Hilton Head now has its very own Hall of Fame. This was created by the Hilton Head Rotary Club to honor visionary island residents who have had a lasting and extraordinary impact on our community. And the club sought nominations from the public, and a committee chose the honorees. And the inaugural winners, all of whom are deceased, were named in November. They are Charles Fraser for setting high standards to enhance the development of the island into a world-class resort, Fred Hack for his love of nature and the people here as he helped to build a caring community, Charles Simmons for his efforts to keep remote Gullah people in touch with Savannah markets by ferrying them along our waterways, and Charlotte Heinrichs, the island's Mother Teresa, for her enduring work to meet the needs of all islanders by founding the Deep Well Project. And eventually, the Coastal Discovery Museum will build an actual wall to accommodate the plaques that were created for all the honorees.
That's a great idea. And before we let you go, I know you wanted to talk about special recognition for Hilton Head Island High School.
That's right, very exciting. In March, Hilton Head Island High School was honored as the best high school in the state when it received the Palmetto's Finest Award from the South Carolina Association of School Administrators. The award is given annually to 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. And Beaufort Middle School, as a side note, was one of the honorees as well. Hilton Head High Principal Amanda Onan, who was a finalist for the state's Principal of the Year honors, credited her team of dedicated teachers.
Well, Lynne Hummell, great to have you on Hilton Head News, and we will see you again in 2013 right back here again. People make resolutions that really require action all year, but chances are the farther you get from making that original resolution, the tougher it is to be successful at following it through. Now here to talk about making a resolution to be more prepared and also to help us identify some specific actions we can take in the event of emergency is Tom Dunn. He is the Emergency Management Coordinator for Hilton Head Island. Tom, we appreciate your time on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you.
Well, what about it? I mean, this is the slow time. At least it's not hurricane season, but if people make a resolution to maybe be safer, take better care of themselves or their families, what is it you'd like to see people do?
I think it's a great time of year to make that New Year's resolution, and I think the thing that people should take into account is to not have one large resolution. I'm going to be prepared for hurricane season next year. What I'd like to see is people take it in steps, take it in small chunks.
Okay, what would be like a step that you would say would be the first step to take?
I think the first step is to allow yourself to receive information, and the town's e-subscription service found on the town's website, townofhiltonheadislandsc.gov. You can sign up for the e-subscription service, and then we'll provide you hurricane information as that storm comes in and that storm approaches.
So we just go to the town website, sign up for that email subscription service, and I know I'm on there. So yes, when things may be getting iffy as far as weather goes or whatever, you will actually send out information to people who are on that list, right?
Exactly. It's a collective list, and through that service we also have Twitter at HHI Emergency. Through that e-subscription service, we can send that message via text message, via email, and it also goes out via Twitter.
Okay, what are some other suggestions, taking those small steps?
Sure. The next step, I think, would be to learn your evacuation route. Know where you are and know how to get out. Learn that evacuation route, and then once you have that evacuation route, you know what that route is, find that final destination. Where are you going to go if you have to evacuate?
What about getting educated, or maybe educating others around you? What can people do in order to get that accomplished?
Sure. There are a lot of resources out there. First is the town website. We've got a hurricane page that has all kinds of information, planning tips. There's a hurricane guide on there for citizens in English and in Spanish. The Beaufort County website also provides a great deal of information for hurricane preparedness, and as well FEMA at ready.gov is another resource for hurricane preparedness.
Well, those are great resources. Now, will you or would someone possibly that deals with emergency management on the island be willing to go talk with groups if they gather together to make sure they're up to date on their preparedness?
Absolutely. We'd love to come talk to any large group, large setting, homeowners associations, property owners associations, groups. Feel free to give me a call, and we'd be more than happy to come out and talk to you about hurricane preparedness.
Any final thought before we let you go, Tom?
The biggest thing is just take that initiative to be prepared. Take that first step in getting the information and learning your evacuation routes, and then just continue to build on that.
Well, we appreciate your time on the Hilton Head News. Tom Dunn, Emergency Management Coordinator for Hilton Head Island. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Now, when we return, we'll hear from Cinda Seamon. She has some resolutions that will make your home safer in 2013. Stay right there.
Beaufort Town Center, the perfect place to live, work, play, and shop. Uniquely located on Boundary Street, Beaufort Town Center is adjacent to city and county government buildings at the entrance of Beaufort's Historic District. This new urban town center seamlessly blends lodging, office space, retail, restaurant, and residential sites with pristine views of the Intercoastal Waterway. Let the executives at Beaufort Town Center assist you with any of your real estate and leasing needs. Call today at 843-521-9000.
Cinda Seamon, Public Education Officer for the Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue, joins me. Hi, Cinda.
Hi, Allie.
Well, now we had the Keep the Wreath Green project. Give us an update on how things went as far as fires on the island.
Okay, well, as of yesterday, we had 11 fires since Thanksgiving. So the good news, bad news on that. The bad news is we've had 11 fires. The good news is it has generated a lot of conversation. People are talking about it. They're going on the website, looking at the dates the fires occurred, what kinds of fires, and it's created an awareness, which is what we hoped it would do.
Now, what about people as they head into 2013? What is some advice you'd like to give them as far as making their homes more safe with regards to preventing fires?
Well, I think New Year's resolutions are easy when it comes to fire because there are really just a few simple things you can do to make your home more fire safe and your family more fire safe. First of all, obviously smoke alarms. That's your first defense to get out early. We want everyone to have working smoke alarms. We will assist you in that as well. If you have problems, you're not sure where to place your smoke alarms, they're not working properly, call us. Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue is happy to come out and assist you in helping you locate them, making sure they're working, helping you change batteries if you can't reach them. So it's really important that people go out and buy smoke alarms, that they install them properly, they check them and test them once a month, and change the batteries at least once a year, and we recommend a couple of times a year. We do the change the clock, change the battery campaign.
Well, I have to say, I think that's wonderful that members of Hilton Head Fire and Rescue are willing to go help people either locate them or change the battery. I can think of my own dad, who is 86 and has a really tough time reaching up there to change the battery, and if it'll save a life, kudos to everyone with Fire and Rescue for doing that.
Yeah.
What about other tactics to make your home safe from fire?
Something else that might be a good thing for people to do is purchase a fire extinguisher. If they don't currently have one in their home, they should think about getting one, and that's another thing we'll assist with. If people are not sure how to use a fire extinguisher, when to use it, how it works, give us a call. We'll come out. We'll be happy to talk with you about it, show you how to do a demonstration for you and show you how to use a fire extinguisher, because that can help as well if you have a small contained fire that you feel comfortable trying to fight.
Any last bits of advice or another tip that you want to give to us, Cinda, before we let you go?
Yes, lastly, I would say have an escape plan. Sit down with your family, plan how will you get out in case of fire, especially if you have older people in your home, people with mobility issues, small children. What is the plan? How will you get out, and where will you meet? It's very important that everyone has the same meeting place and does a face-to-face in case of fire.
Well, Cinda Seamon, Public Education Officer with Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue, our thanks to you.
Thank you.
And Nancy Watts has some thoughts on some new things you can do for the new year. Hi, Nancy.
Hi there, it's good to be here, and Happy New Year.
Same to you. I know you want to mention about a special tour here on Hilton Head Island that sometimes we islanders forget about doing and would be worthwhile. Tell us about that.
It's the Gullah Trail Tour. I don't know whether you see the little buses going up and down the road, and they're going to all of the, I think there's 7, no, there are 10. There are 10 old homes and our old communities that were part of Hilton Head's history, which would be really interesting to see.
That sounds great, and I know they leave from the Coastal Discovery Museum at Honeyhorn.
They do.
You know, as I mentioned at the beginning, there are a lot of times when you live somewhere where these special tours or places to visit are right there, you kind of say, well, I'll do it at some point. But maybe that'd be a good New Year's resolution.
It would be, and you know, we just sort of do the same old thing. You know, oh, well, I don't need to know where to go. I just already know where to go. But you know, even when I look at that book, I think, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Maybe I ought to give that a shot. So that's what I do.
Well, that sounds great. You know, it's always good to learn something new. Speaking of learning things that are new or maybe keeping the brain active, you have some ideas when it comes to playing cards.
Yes, I do. I've got a couple of things about activity of the brain, but that's one, playing bridge. I do not play bridge. I play a heck of a game of rummy, but I don't play bridge at all. But there is a bridge group out at Port Royal Plaza, and they play in the morning, and they play in the afternoon, and they play in the morning and the afternoon. Sometimes they break to go to lunch, and and then they're right back at it, and it is fun. They're a cute bunch of people. I mean, they are just fanatics, not to say that that's bad.
Sounds like fun. You also know about a lady that will take people on another type of tour that has to do with food. Tell me about that, if you would. Alice
will help you savor the Low Country. I took that tour with her, and I said, oh my goodness. I went, there were a couple of places that I don't normally go, and they were wonderful. And she tells more good stories. I said, my goodness, Alice, you know so much. And she seems to like it so very much herself that she just will make you have a good time. You could take your friends, get a group of you together, call her and say, hey, this is what let's go play.
And I'm going to go ahead because you provided me with her phone number, 301-1005, 301-1005. So thank you for doing that for us, Nancy. Okay, you've got some wine tasting ideas for us.
Oh yes, we got to drink a little wine. It's the holidays, and there's Island Winery where you again take your friends or go by yourself and just taste some wonderful wines. They have I think they open at 12, and they are open every day. And they have flights of wines, and they have a wine tasting in the afternoon and a wine and cheese party. You can just have a very good time.
Well, some great ideas as always, Nancy Watts. We didn't get to all of them, so we'll save them for next go round too. Thank you for joining us here on the Hilton Head News. We look forward to having you on again throughout 2013.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it myself.
And thank you for watching the Hilton Head News. For all of us here at WHHI-TV, Happy New Year.